Good morning and welcome to this video. Dear student, today we are going to learn about tuple, and as we know, tuple is an unordered set of elements that is enclosed within a parenthesis. Earlier we have learnt about list, in which we have seen that a list is also an ordered set of element, but all the elements are enclosed within square bracket, as you can see in this code. So this is a list, and this here we have put round brackets, so this becomes a tuple. So this is the only difference between a tuple and a list. One more difference between these two is that list is a mutable object while tuple is immutable. That means the elements of tuple are immutable, means they cannot be, we cannot change them, while in case of list we can change the elements. So let us see the output of this. I have executed this program and we are getting this output. So first one is list. As you can see, we are having elements within square brackets. In the second one, we are having elements within tuples. So by seeing these brackets, we can differentiate them. Now let us move to our next program. In this program, this is the program to create empty tuple. Empty tuple means the tuple which is having no element, not a single element in it. So the simple way of creating an empty tuple is we write t1 is equals to, and we put two parentheses without any element. So this become an empty tuple. Another method of creating empty tuple is just write t2 is equals to and then say tuple and put these two brackets. So this is also a method to create empty tuple. So if we execute this program, you can see the output as tuple t1 is this and tuple t2 is this. So you can see the output in both the cases is same. So we can create empty tuple whenever we require by using any one of these two methods. Now let us move to the third program. In this program we will see how to create an element which is having only a single element, tuple which is having only a single element. So again there are two methods. First method is t1 is equal to, within parentheses we'll write first element, then we'll put a comma, right? And in second method we simply write t2 is equal to 3 and then we put a comma and we do not put any brackets here. So this is also to create a tuple without tuple with having one without using parentheses. So let us see the output of this program. We should get same output in both the cases, as you can see here. Now let us move to the next program. In this program we will see some how to create a tuple using an existing sequence. Sequence, as you know, list is a sequence, string is also a sequence, tuple is also a sequence. So suppose we are having a string, say st equals to hello, and now using this string we want to create a tuple. So we'll write t1 is equals to tuple st. We'll pass this string to this tuple function and this will convert this string into a tuple by making each and every element of this string as an element of your tuple. Let us see its output. Here you can see this t1 will have HELLO as separate element of this tuple. Similarly, if we are having a list L, that is 12G 4.5Y, and if we want to convert this into a tuple, we will say tuple L, and this will be converted into a tuple. Here you can see 12G 4.5Y, and this is converted into tuple. Let us move to the next program now. The next program is about how to input the values of a tuple from the keyboard during program execution. So for this we simply say T1 is equals to, instead of giving values, we want to take value from the keyboard. So we'll use input function for that. We'll say input enter tuple element, and whatever value that will be entered using input statement will be converted into a tuple. Now let us see how this is to be done. Now here you have to enter the elements. Suppose I have entered 1 2 3 4. So you can see 1 2 3 4, because the input statement always take the data in string form. So this 1 2 3 4 will be in string form, and that string will again be converted using this tuple function into tuple, right? Similarly, there is another method to input a tuple, that is called using eval function. Earlier we have done this using tuple method. Now we are doing the same thing using eval method. Now when we use eval method, we input the values for tuple as follows. As we know, we are going to input tuple, so we will put the values within parenthesis, and then we will type the entire tuple here in this way. So you have to remember this thing, that whenever we are using eval function, we will put parenthesis while inputting the value for tuple. Next is manipulation of tuple. As we have done various manipulations on list, similarly we can also manipulate tuples. Let us have two tuples, T is equals to this, and another tuple T1 is equals to this. Now if we print T, we will get this tuple. If we print T0, T0 means first element of T. So first element of T is sun. Now let us run this so that you can see the output also. So first element of T is SUN. Now in the next one, because this first element is a string and is it means if we say T02, T02 means this, now we are using two indexes, right? So this will be the T0 means first element of this T, and 2 means 0 1 2, the character at second index of this first element. So 0 1 2, that is n. So you will be getting n, right? Then we have written print T1 into 3. So this into is a replication operator, so that will replicate this T1 3 times. So T1 is 11 and Monday, so we'll get 11 Monday for 1 time, 11 Monday 2 times, and 11 Monday 3 times. So it will replicate this T1 3 times. Then T plus T1, as you know, in case of list, this is to concatenate two lists, and in case of tuple, it will concatenate or add two tuples. So you will get the first tuple Sunday 12 3 H, and the second tuple is 11 Monday. So they will be joined together. The next one is print T1 colon 3. This is a slice method of extracting elements of a tuple. So if we say 1 colon 3 means starting from 1 0 1. So starting from 12 and moving up to 3 means 2. So 1 2, that means you will be having only 12 and 3 in the output. So this is how we can manipulate tuple. Then we have membership operator in and not in. These membership operator also work on list in the same way. So if we are having a tuple t equals to 12, 3, 44, 5 and 3. Now if we say t in 3 in t, it means we are looking for this 3. We are checking whether this 3 is exist in this or present in this tuple or not. Right? If it is present, then it will return true. If it is not present, it will return false. Right? So in R1 we will get true because this 3 is there in tuple. In R2 we will have this not in operator does opposite of this in operator, because when we are saying 3 in t means we are checking whether 3 is present here, and 3 not in t means we are checking whether 3 is not present here. So 3 is present here, so this will give false. So if we run this program, you can see the output. The first one is true and the second one is false. Now let us move to the next program, which is showing how we can traverse a tuple. This is also done in the same way as we do with list. Suppose we have a tuple t and now we want to traverse this tuple. Traversing of a tuple means to move, to access each and every element of that tuple. So for that we use for loop. We say for k in t. T is the name of tuple and k is the variable in which each element of this tuple will be stored one by one. So first of all we will have k as 12, so we will get 12, then we will have 3, then sun, then 4.5, then happy. Now let us run this program. So when this program is executed, we will get the output as below. The next one is packing and unpacking of a tuple. So when we use this method of creating a tuple, this is called packing. That means we are having several elements and we are packing them to as a single object into T. Now if we write a statement as, because it is having 1 2 3 4 elements, so if we say a b c d 4 variables equals to t, so each element of this tuple will be stored in these 4 variables separately. Means 12 will be stored in a, b will have 3, c will have Monday and d will have 3.4, and if we print them we can see the output as follows. Here you can see 12, 3, Monday and 3.4. Now let us move to the next program, which is based on tuple function and method example. So here we have a tuple t, and now if you say print t, that it will give you print len of t, that's with list, it will give you the length of the tuple in case of tuple also. So if you say print max t, minimum t, so it will provide you the maximum value in t and minimum value in t. Then we have t dot index 4.5, it gives you the index value of the element 4.5. so index value of element 4.5 is 0, 1 and 2, so you get 2 here. Similarly, if we say t dot count 23, it will count the frequency of element 23 within tuple t. So it is having 23 here, 2 and 3 times, so you get the output as 3. Now let us move to the last program which is to input a tuple, and then we have to count the frequency of even elements in it. So to input tuple, we use the eval method of inputting tuple here. So then we'll print the tuple, then we'll take a counter as count even equals to 0, in which we'll store the counting of even numbers. Now we'll access or traverse the tuple using for loop for k in t, and if k mod 2 equals to 0, it means that the element stored in k is an even number. So that means we have one even number. We'll increase the count even by 1. So once all this loop is finished, we will have the frequency of even numbers stored in count even. So finally we will print the count EVN. So we will have the actual number of even numbers stored in tuple will be displayed. Now let us see the output of this. We have entered 4 even numbers, 12, 44, 56 and 6. So we get the answer as 4. So this is how we can manipulate tuples. So you can practice all these programs in Thonny and try to understand the concept behind tuples. Thank you very much.